Good morning.
So it's day 50 on the Appalachian Trail, and I ran into Sharon, old friend, great friend, superstar, and she made me take her out to breakfast, but she drove. So love your friends, love your life, and I'm going to get on the trail after I hit the post office, but until then, all right, peace. Hey y'all, it is day 50. This is day 50 of hiking. I already talked to you guys about Sharon today because she came down and had breakfast with me. She didn't bring her husband Mike. I wish he would have come. I would always hear so much about him, and he's such a nice guy, according to Sharon. But I don't know why he wouldn't be a nice guy. And yeah, Sharon's never lied to me, so I'm pretty sure he's a nice guy. So this is Harper's Ferry, and this is the bridge over there is one train track, and there's another train track, and it goes into that mountain over there, and then we have the path behind me, which is the way I'm going, and it doesn't go into that tunnel. That's where all the trains go in, and then there we go. So we got this. I need to take some photos of this as well, but I probably won't because I'm a dumbass. And then, so we're about to, this is a really big tourist thing, not just the Appalachian Trail, so we're about to pass a whole bunch of people. So if they wave to you, which they should, because otherwise they would just be rude, say, hey, what's up there, fella? So again, just hiking the Appalachian Trail and having a great time doing it. There are plenty of people out here just walking the bridge. Look at all those people in their inner tubes over there, just kind of sailing down the Potomac. And so right there is where the Potomac River, which is behind me, this is the Potomac River, and then right there is the Shenandoah River, and so that's where they come together. And everyone's looking at me like I'm an idiot, like, what's that guy doing? But they all come together right there, and I think this is one of the places I'm going to come back to, and just come back and canoe it, or what do you call that? Or raft it. It just looks like a ton of fun. So, but I'm going to go now and take some photos. It is about 2:00 in the afternoon, so I'm going to hike. I don't know until when. There's a shelter like 6 miles away, and there's a shelter like 10 miles away. But I fear that if I didn't get out of Harper's Ferry, I would stay there tonight. And I don't really need to. I have everything I need, and so I can just move on. And then let's see. Right up there is the tunnel for the train. It says Harper's Ferry 1931. And again, just this beautiful, beautiful landscape. Someplace that I would like to come back and visit. But I'm going to go and take some photos. But before I go, I'm going to tell you, Chris Metcalf and Aaron Streibel, wonderful people. Love them to death. Now that Chris is retired, or he's on permissive TDY, he's not quite on terminal leave yet, but he might as well be. He's signed out. He should come and hike a little bit with me. That's what he should do. He's got the time. He ain't got nothing going on. So, Chris, come find me on the Appalachian Trail. Come hike with me for about a week, just a week. And then, yeah, that's it. You'll go, hey, maybe I want to do too. But that's all I got for you guys. All right. Love you. Hey, y'all, as you can see the sun through the trees right over there, it's starting to go down. It's about 5:30. There's a shelter about less than 2 miles ahead, and I'm just walking to it. Not a big deal. I was at the shelter, the 6 mile shelter. This is the 10 mile shelter from Harper's Ferry. And everyone said the 6 mile shelter was really, really nice. And it was. But the water source was a half a mile away, which is too much. It's too far. I would rather walk 4 more miles and have a closer water source than walk that half mile downhill, half mile uphill twice. So, I mean, by the time that you do that twice, you're already halfway to the next shelter, in theory. So, not happening. So, anyway, I'll be going to the next shelter. I feel good. I'm liking the new shoes. And I will, I'll talk to you guys later, but one thing I did want to say is, so one of the things, and I'm going to do an entire video on shelter life / tent life, so you can see my priorities at work and what I got to do to get ready. Sorry, I'm going to just switch this for the sun. Okay. what I got to do to get ready to go to bed for the next day, and then my next day work priorities, and then move out. And that's going to be a standalone video. It's not going to be incorporated into day 50 or day 51 or anything like that. But I will tell you that I have been having trouble with like the humidity. It's really bad. So one of the things that I do when I get to a shelter, firstly, is I take my shoes off. But second, I try to get out of my clothes, my wet clothes, because they're just, chock full of sweat. So I try to get out of them. I get out of my pants and I get out of my shirt and I walk around in ranger panties. But my ranger panties are still wet. And they don't dry out as much or as quickly as I would like them to. They do dry out, but then at night when I'm sleeping, same thing. They just get kind of hot and, you get a little moist down there. So what I have found is that wearing a skirt, I put on a skirt and then I get out of my ranger panties and I can go commando in a little tiny lightweight skirt with a t-shirt on, and it's got good airflow. My boys stay dry, and I don't have any problems with moisture. So, and it's a very fashionable skirt. So I'll make sure to either take some photos but I will definitely include it in my priorities of work video, because keeping your boys dry is a priority. Okay, so I'll either talk to you guys later tonight if I decide to move on to the shelter after this one, which I don't think I will, or I'll talk to you in the morning. All right, have a good one. Don't really know what this building is. It's in some state park that I'm walking through, and it was either built in 1887 or it was demolished in 1887. Either way, it's kind of one of those nice little things you get to see on the trail. So I just got to the 10-mile shelter, and the sign for it says it's a quarter of a mile off the trail. And the name of the spring is Sporadic Spring. And so I looked at some of the reviews and it said, the water's not that great. What are you gonna do? So just up the way, about 5 miles, is another shelter that is 1/10 of a mile off the trail and has great water. It has a piped spring, which I showed you before. Hang on a second. Sorry. And the walk is probably, out of the 5 miles, it's probably 2 miles of rolling up and downs that aren't bad at all. And then the rest of it's just downhill. So I think I'd rather walk 5 more miles. I still have sunlight. I'll probably get there about 7:30, and that'll give me 15 miles for the day, which like 15.9 for the day, and that's respectable. I'm good with that. I started at, again, 2:30, so just kind of taking it an easy day, really, just because I started so late. But turns out I'm cranking out some decent miles, and I'm happy with it. So yeah, I'm gonna get after it. And there was at that little park thing that I passed through, there was a bathroom, and right outside the bathroom someone had left a tea kettle, like a camping tea kettle, up for grabs, but with 2 metal cups. And so I took the metal cups, and one of the metal cups went into the bathroom, rinsed it out, and just refilled all my water right from there. So I'm not going to be depleted on water to go this next 5 miles. If I didn't mind carrying the extra weight, or I was just passing through, I probably would have taken that teapot. It was nice. People bring the weirdest things, myself included. I've done it, where they think, yeah, I'm going to use this all the time, and then they start carrying it, and if I don't use it for 5 days, I don't need it, with the exception of my tent. I try to never use my tent, just because I'd like to plop into a shelter, plop down, set up, and then get out the next morning and get out a little faster. But I'll use it if I need to. But that's the one thing that I have that if I don't use for 5 days, that's okay. But everything else, if I don't use it for 5 days, it's got to go. It either gets thrown away or gets mailed back. So, yep. I'm going to go hike these. I'm going to go knock out these. Well, that's like 4.5 miles. I'm going to go knock this out real quick. And then I'm not hungry at all. So I'm really glad that I had lunch before I left. And I was debating on doing it. And for lunch, I had chicken wings and mozzarella sticks. Which, I got to tell you, on the trail, you really can eat whatever the hell you want. Because you're burning all of it off. The real trick is going to be when I'm done with the trail. I got to be super disciplined on how I eat so I don't just blow up and turn into like 200 pounds of 200 pounds of diabetes and hypertension. Ugh. So, but that's what I had for lunch. And so I'm not hungry at all. So I might get to the shelter and just get water for the morning and top off everything, play ukulele and go to bed. I think that's pretty close to what I'm going to do. All right, now. Love you.